besties, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Maya and I like to talk about books here on the internet. For my usual monthly TBRs, I play two types of games, Final FMC and Lord of the Reeds, the first edition, because yes, I am following along the proper lore. We're combining games. I am going to be coming in between the two with the TBRs that I have chosen, and there is going to be some crossover. There's also going to be other surprising elements in there. You'll understand once you actually see the gameplay happen. So I'm just gonna shut up and let the gameplay happen and then come in with all of the books. And I also have decided that I am also going to be adding me reading the backs of the books that I choose, or finding the summary online, because I realized that, you know, even though it's fun to watch the gameplay and stuff, I don't think it's substantive for you guys to know what I'm reading if I don't say what I'm reading about, and I don't know what I'm reading about, so I'll just read the backs of the books. So then we'll all learn together. But I think it's better that way, so that you guys know about all of the books that could be a potential in the pool of possibilities, rather than just the very fair few that I read and wrap up at the end of the month, if I read at all during the month, because there have been some months where I literally could not get to anything, or like I started but I didn't finish, so I couldn't adequately give like a review wrap-up situation. Anyway, let's get into the game, shall we?
First things first, we have to choose our final girl. We only have 4 that we can choose from because I don't repeat final girls back-to-back months. So let's first roll a die and see who we get. So excited. And this is a new one, so now I actually have to like physically press the button to stop. So stop. Ooh, 4. All right. Now let's go to the final girls. And we had the nerd last time, if I can remember my notes. So we got the cheerleader, the goth, the rebel, and the good girl. And just looking at where everyone is lined up, we get the good girl again. Love that for us. And so her prompt is to add a classic or closed door romance to your TBR. I just remembered I hauled a book recently that is at least what I believe to be a classic, and I think is actually labeled a classic, and that is Dante's Inferno. Now let us roll for our killer. We'll do a D10. Stop. Okay, a 9. Perfect, love that. So let's go to killers. And the mime is out, the cursed child is out, and the dolls are out. So let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, the stalker. Okay, so our prompts are as follows. Add a book to your TBR that deals with obsession, and I think I already have the perfect book for that. But let me continue reading. Add a book to your TBR that involves a masked killer. Ooh, okay, I'm strategizing, sorry. And the third prompt is add a horror or thriller book to your TBR that is set in a suburb. That is very, very specific. And also, I don't know if I have one of those physically. I also don't know how do you know? Oh, wait, yep. I think I might actually. Okay, that's great. So I think I'm gonna go with my first choice book, and I'm gonna go with add a book to your TBR that involves a masked killer. And I'm stretching this one a little bit because I do believe this guy wears a mask, but like also can change how he appears within the story. So I think I'm gonna go with the Tarot Cafe Volume 3. We are gonna go to our board, and we have our little squirrel right where he or she needs to be. I'm thinking it's a she. I don't know, something about the beautiful glossy coat just makes me think she. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Let us roll I believe a d6 is what we use. So let's roll. Stop. Okay, that is a 2. Love that for me. Also got me to the wrong side. 1, 2. Uh, Not the spinner wheel. I totally just spelled color wrong. That is okay, but we're gonna spin. I know you guys might be thinking, this choice is perfect for the month of February. But here's the thing. It's highly inconvenient for me. Also, we have technically two choices, and I love that. It's very wicked coded. Unfortunately, both are a little not the vibes of many of the books, and specifically the many books that I want to specifically read. So that's fun. My eye, however, is drawn to one particular book with some neon green lettering. The problem is I don't know how I feel about that. But we'll put it in. We'll put it in. I'll put it in post editing or post gameplay. I'm sorry, not post editing, post gameplay. What is life? Alrighty, let's go. 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a weapon. I believe that's a weapon. I got the pieces mixed up last time, so I am always checking. I believe it's a weapon, though. You guys see it? Yep, weapon space. I can draw a weapon card and add it to my hand. And I have to add a book to my TBR to use the weapon or to have the weapon. I can exchange, so if I already have a weapon, which I don't, I can discard and draw a new one. And instead of having two books to read, I can just take the prompt of the card that I have in hand, which is awesome. Or I can ignore, do nothing, and roll again. So here is the situation. I like the killer prompts, so I feel like I don't need a weapon. The only thing that could possibly, you know what, not even, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. There is a scenario where I could have a weapon in hand and it would actually be helpful, as a valid reason to add another book to a TBR for the shortest month of the year. But I'm not going to tempt fate by saying it, and I am going to tempt fate by still going without. So we're just going to ignore that roll, and we're going to roll again. 2. Okay, 1, 2. And I got this wrong last time. So the puzzle piece is a killer space. Does it not make sense though that when you go onto that one particular space that looks like a skull that you would think killer like automatically? Does that make sense to anybody? Because that's what I thought. And that's what I thought without actually like looking at the game board. And so, or not the game board, the rule book. And so I immediately thought killer the first time. And I keep thinking killer every single time that I land on said space. However, I know better now. And that is actually a victim space. Okay, so we have the killer space. So I can escape and use one of the killer's prompts. and do that. Or I can fight and use a weapon in my hand. So here's the thing about the weapons. I do random die generators to determine everything within the game. I could just very easily choose the weapon that corresponds to the killer so that when I use it, I can just have both lives taken automatically. But where is the fun in that? And where's the torture and the punishment? So I have decided that I'm just going to use a random die for every decision within this game so that I don't have to make any. And the thing of getting a weapon is it could just be one extra book added onto the TBR for literally no other reason. When if I land on a killer space like I did just now, I can just choose one of his prompts or her and just take a life like that. And the only time, again, there is a situation where you would want the weapon when you face the killer, but quite frankly, I am not tempting fate with that. I refuse. So we are going to do the killer prompt and not do the other thing. Let me go back to our killer, which is the stalker. So for the stalker, I can also add a book that deals with obsession or add a horror thriller book to your TBR that is set in a suburb. So I could go the obsessive route because I do think I have a book for that. However, I'm just gonna think smart here for a second. Shocking, I know. And go with The Memory Box by Eva Lesko Natieyo because it is the one book that I know that I have that is set in the suburbs, high-end suburb, and also fits within the requirements of it being a horror or thriller. It's more psychological. Okay, let's roll the die again. Okay, stop. One. Faster than a herd of turtles, baby. Okay. Oh, I tempted fate and it is not liking that. Okay, so we have a victim space. So again, I'm going to use the random die generator to determine everything in my life, including the victim that we are going to be using. So actually, last round we had two. We had, I believe, the comedic relief and one other person. But because they are victims, I'm not gonna like discount anybody. I'm just gonna roll a d12 and we're just gonna count based on that because I know there are less than 12 victims. Six. Okay, let's go to victims. It was the comedic relief, and I think, yeah, geez, I don't know. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, the lovers. How fitting. So our book choices are not Valentine's Day coded. However, the victims are. I'm so sorry. That's not funny, but it is. Not a spicy romance. Dear TBR, listen. Listen, Linda. We are not reading any spicy romance this month. I can't. I can't. The TBR's pile is growing. It's fine. How many times will I say it's fine before I believe that it is indeed fine? Alrighty, D6, let's freaking go. One. My goodness, listen, Linda. The board game is now officially named Linda. Listen, Linda, you need to be nicer to me. Okay, okay, so location, four. Alrighty, two, four. The schoolhouse again. I love that. And I say again because I've already previously played this. So the prompt is to add a book to your TBR that has a school setting. I got you. The Raven Boys. Let's roll. Three. Yikes. One, two. Another victim. Listen, Linda. One. All right. It's cool. It's cool. Everything's fine. The babysitter. Okay, let's go. Add a middle grader YA book to your TBR. Bless you, actually. We're gonna go with The House on the Cerulean Sea. This TBR list is getting longer and longer, and I don't know how I feel about that. Especially as someone who takes forever to read, and it's the shortest month, and it's fine. We got coffee, it's fine. It's fine. Alrighty. So, D6, let's go. 3. Okay. One, two, another victim. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, fine. Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The boyfriend this time. Okay, we're really getting Valentine's Day coded here, ladies and gentlemen. Add a book to your TBR chosen by your partner or alternative blind date with a book. Blind date with a book. I got you. It's fine. Everything is fine. 1. It's a weapon I'm going to ignore. 3. 1, 2. Yes. Okay. The game is redeeming itself in my eyes. So we have the killer prompt. So let me go back because I already forgot what the other one was. So we had what do we have? We have the masked killer one. We have the horror or thriller based in a suburb. We got that. So the last thing is obsession, which I had the Tarot Cafe Volume 3, the special edition. I had that for both ideas for prompts, and I'm looking at one particular book that I think will feature obsession. However, I didn't want to put restrictions of a TBR on it. Like, if I'm going to read it, I'm just going to read it and have a fun time with it. I immediately just thought of something, and this might actually kill me. No, but that could be considered spicy. Well, could it? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. So I'm just gonna keep it for this last one then. And we're gonna go with Iron Flame.
Hi. Hope you guys had fun. Me from the past did when I played the game. Well, actually, I was kind of crashing out as I was playing because I knew that I was going to become this me that would be a little bit more worried. Granted, it's still the beginning of the month, but I'm filming this video by the time this is published last Friday. I haven't touched not one book, not yet. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Are the crazy eyes on yet? They're about to be. But I digress. Let's get into it. I have my notes. Let's freaking go. So to summarize, recap, give you guys the tea on the books. We had for our final girl, the good girl, for her prompt, we are going to be reading Dante's Inferno. I'm excited. But let us read the back of the book so we know what it is that we're even reading here, right? Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straightforward pathway had been lost. Interesting. All right. Now the actual summary, or what I think is the actual summary. In Inferno, the first of the 3 books in his Divine Comedy, the poet Dante... Wait, this is poetry? Yeah, y'all can cancel me for that. I didn't know. Listen, I'm learning. Actually, this makes me feel a whole lot better now that I know that it's poetry, because that means I can read it just a tiny, tiny little bit faster, just a tiny bit, not by much, but it just kind of a tiny bit. Okay, wow. Yeah, y'all can cancel me now. Anyway, the poet Dante adrift spiritually and emotionally, journeys down to hell. Well, cool. I just went to a play about the screw tape letters, so you know there's a theme that is happening there. Accompanied by the poet Virgil, Dante travels through all 9 circles of the realm, meeting an array of sinners from Christian and classical history and legend. The terror and confusion he experiences ultimately give way to an understanding of the divine plan and the realization of divine love. Interesting. Written in the 14th century, Dante's epic poem is a masterful meditation on the personal search for spiritual redemption. This fully illustrated edition features more than 70 engravings by Gustave Doré that bring the horrors and the majesty of Dante's creation vividly to life. Wow. So when I made mention of the screw tape letters, that was actually very akin to what this sounds like this could be. I did not know that. Okay, cool. Okay, next we had the killer prompts. And for this, we got the stalker, and for his prompt, or one of his prompts, or hers. So I chose the Tarot Cafe Volume 3, the special edition by Samsung Park, and you guys, I'm so very, very excited. I want this to be the first book I read, truly, truly, because this also can fit one of the prompts for the little mini readathon that is happening. You guys. I am excited for so many reasons. One, this is quickly becoming my favorite manga series of all time. Sorry, Heartstopper. I love you. Yeah, I just really love this author. I love the illustrations. I love the storyline. I love everything about it. I love all of the characters. I love it. I'm sad that this world is coming to an end. However, I will be able to get to that end much quicker than I could in novel, because also it's manga. I can come back to, I don't know, there's just something that is different about this type of medium that allows me to actually come back to the world and not feel overly sad, because I know that I could go back to the world and I can experience it in such a short amount of time. Maybe that's it. Anyway, sorry, squirrel brain. This completes a series. My reward system? I'm so excited. And because of a new rule that we are adding onto it, that video is coming out shortly. Don't you worry. I will be getting more monies to collectively spend at the end of the year, because I have decided I am going to do a full-on spend at the end of the year, irregardless of if I use that amount of money throughout any point of the year. But for me, I feel as though any sort of haul that I would do, it would just automatically, it would count against me, and I'll just do the thing at the end of the year, and we'll just see where it goes. And I think it'll just keep me accountable and let me really feel the weight of whatever it is that I spend money on. But irregardless, I'm so excited. Love, jealousy, trust, betrayal, a tale spanning centuries that finally draws to a close. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm so excited. As Alecto loses his mind to Burial's trickery and his deepest secrets are revealed, Pamela must journey to the darkest depths of hell alone to confront Burial and rescue Bellis. Is she really nothing more than a plaything to Ash? Can she finally unlock the key to regaining her mortality? And more importantly, will Burial let her? This thrilling conclusion to the Tarot Cafe series includes the Tarot Cafe The Wild Hunt light novel by Chandra Rooney. It does. There is the ending of the actual storyline, and then there is the novel that is after that. So I'm glad that it was 2 separate things and it wasn't just a novel of all of the events that have happened thus far, just in story form. I am so excited. I am so excited. Like, I really, really want to start this book. I literally will be starting this book tonight. I just don't know when and I don't know how, but we're going to set up the vibes with a nice little drink, some comfy clothes, maybe a nice little snacky snack that isn't going to ruin the pages of the book, and we are diving in, I swear, on everything, because it has to happen. It has to. Then we got a freaking spinner wheel. And it literally does nothing but just adds book to your TBR. The only book that had neon green or neon pink that I haven't already read. Introducing Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I bought this because I was told that Riley Sager is someone that I should look into if I'm into like horror, thriller, mystery, that type of world, that she's a good one to get into. So I'm quite excited. I have no idea what this book is, so let's find out together by reading its back. The worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. Perfect. One July night, 10-year-olds, oh, we're following a child. Okay, cool. Ethan and his best friend and neighbor, Billy, fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. Okay, how does he know it was a knife? I have questions. Like, I know how the adults would know. How does he know? He was never seen again. 30 years later, okay, so we're following an adult. Okay, got it. I'm more comfortable following adults than I am children when it comes to this type of genre, just as a fair warning shot over the bow, because I was like, oh, this is a child. I may need to not ever pick this book up. But we're safe. Okay, we're following along a adult. Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home. Plagued by bad dreams and insomnia, he begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank, or is Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? First off, ghost? Or like older Billy? How do you, okay, I have questions. The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night. A quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors and leads him into the woods that surround Hemlock Circle. Woods where Billy claimed ghosts roamed. I might have been onto something. And where a mysterious institute does clandestine research on a crumbling estate. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present. Oh, this sounds good. Next, we landed on a killer space, so we needed to do one more prompt of theirs, and for that, I have decided The Memory Box by Eva Lesko Natieo. We have started said book. We have not completed it, and we've actually gotten a fair bit of the way through it, and I actually do remember most of what I read. To be quite honest, I know that the deed is in the details with this story, but I don't feel as though I'm actually going to go back to the beginning. I think I'm just going to start from where I left off, remember what I can remember, and be pleasantly surprised by whatever it is that the details eventually end up needing to be. And maybe I will need to actually take the time to go back over it again, but for all intents and purposes, we're here, and that is okay. Caroline Thompson knows how lucky she is. With a gorgeous, successful husband, 2 adoring daughters, loyal friends, a stately colonial in an idyllic town, she is everything she's ever wanted, and came close to having none of it. So when the privileged, gossipy moms of Fairhaven are Googling everyone in town to dig up dirt to fuel their grapevines, horrible thing to do, by the way, just stop the gossip, she stays far away from them. Good girl. Thankfully, when they search Caroline's name, it uncovers only a few mentions of her volunteer work, but a pang of curiosity prods Caroline to search her maiden name, which none of the others know. Caroline's stunned. There's an avalanche of search results. She's terrified by what she reads. An obituary for her sister, JD? That's absurd. A life-threatening entanglement in college? That's impossible. Well, maybe not impossible, girl, but okay. Caroline is hurled into a state of paranoia, upending her blissful family life. She can't confide in anyone. She'd risk losing everything in a manic race against the clock. Caroline becomes desperate to prove these allegations false before someone discovers they're true. We got the lovers for the victim cards, and the prompt was to read a spicy romance. Here's the thing, y'all. Actually, a couple of things. One, I don't own anything like that physically. Now, I could stretch it very tight with some books, but those books that I could stretch with are on other places for other prompts in our TBR. And quite frankly, I just have so many book options at the moment with this game that I am already gonna have a time, and I just don't foresee me getting to this prompt. So that's gonna be that. Before we even get to the next prompt, I'm gonna get my unnatural lighting. Uno momentito, por favor. Heck yeah, that is so much better. It is gonna do a little thing in my glassy glasses over here, but that's okay. Next up, we landed on a location space. So for this one, I have decided that I am going to read, if I can find it, The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve Otter. This was a well-loved, well-recommended book by Books and Lala, and of course, at the time of me first discovering BookTube and book content creators, seeing all of them buy everything, or just recommending things that they had, I was like, oh, I must have that too, because I want to be like the cool kids. Let's read the back of the book, shall we? So that we know what it is that we're getting into. There are only 2 reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve. Either you're his true love, or you killed him. Fantastic. Every year, Blue Sergeant stands next to her clairvoyant mother as the soon-to-be-dead walk past. Blue never sees them until this year, when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks to her. His name is Gainsey, and he's a rich student at Aglionby. Aglionby? Let me know. The local private school. Blue has a policy of staying away from Aglionby boys known as Raven Boys. They can only mean trouble. But Blue is drawn to Gainsey in a way she can't entirely explain. He is on a quest that has encompassed 3 other Raven Boys. Adam, the scholarship student who represents the privilege around him. Who resents the privilege around him. Love that. Ronan, the fierce soul whose emotions range from anger to despair. And Noah, the taciturn watcher who notices many things but says very little. I might probably find my book boyfriend in him. I'm not gonna lie. For as long as she can remember, Blue has been warned that she will cause her true love to die. I'm so sorry, my love. She doesn't believe in true love and never thought this would be a problem. That was your first mistake. But as her life becomes caught up in the strange and sinister world of the Raven Boys, she's not so sure anymore. Of course you're not, love. Of course you're not. It's gonna be fine. It's okay. It's okay. You're young. You're excused for the most part, for right now. Next, we landed on yet another victim space. We got the babysitter. So for this prompt, I have decided to read The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. You guys, this has forever tempted me in bookstores. So I was like, okay, yeah, you've tempted me enough. I'm finally gonna get you, okay? I'll read you. Fine, fair enough. So I actually saw this on Gavin Reads It All's channel. Yeah, I said that right. And I don't know, I'm just inspired to read stuff that he reads because, I mean, he hit it like out of the park with Frostheart for me. A Magical Island. Lovely. A Dangerous Task. Of course, we need the stakes. A Burning Secret. Ooh. Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records for company. But his quiet life is about to change. Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they're likely to bring about the end of days. If we are so concerned about that, we would have already done something about... Okay, I'm here, though. I'm here. When Linus arrived at that strangest of islands, he's greeted by a series of mysterious figures, the greatest mystery of which is Arthur Parnassus, the master of the orphanage. As Linus and Arthur grow closer, Linus discovers the master would do anything to keep the children safe, even if it means the world has to burn. Or worse, his secret comes to light. Okay, you know that something had to have happened. Now that's a very guilty conscience if I've ever heard of one. And that is so juicy and I love it. So let's continue. The House in the Cerulean Sea is an enchanting love story. Okay, slay. Masterfully told about the profound experience of discovering an unlikely family in an unexpected place and realizing that family is yours. See, this is why I trust Gavin reads it all, because there is such deeper meanings and context and storylines if you really want it, but then always his authors just have such a good time with it. Next, we landed on another victim space. Poor victims. So we got the boyfriend. So that means we have a blind date with the book. And then last but not least, we landed on the killer again. And bro, when I tell you, I had every single stinking book for these TBRs, but this book. So we're gonna put a little bit of a picture here. I chose for this last and final prompt, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the second book in, I believe, the Empyrean series is what it's called. This is the book after Fourth Wing. The book that took me on the most unexpected, probably most emotionally jarring after Wicked emotional roller coaster of 2025. Bro, the ending had me just so sad. And it wasn't even really the ending. It was like the thing that happened before the ending. So I was in an emotionally wrecked place when I got to the actual final ending, to the point where I was just like, you know what, that makes sense. It's fine. And Vi, calm down. Just forgive him. Okay? At least he's... I was about to do a spoiler. But like, Vi, just forgive the guy, okay? He's hot. Just make up and make out. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, Iron Flame. Let's get into the summary. Everyone expected Violet Sorrengail to die during her first year at Basgith War College. Violet included. Yes, we all did. But it's also a fictional story, so of course, even the weakest will survive if they have their strong, powerful ally turned partner. You know what I'm saying? The threshing was only the first impossible test meant to weed out the weak-willed, the unworthy, and the unlucky. Now the real training begins, and Violet's wondering how she'll get through it. It's not just that it's grueling and maliciously brutal, or even that it's designed to stretch the rider's capacity for pain beyond endurance. It's the new vice commandant who's made it his personal mission to teach Violet exactly how powerless she is, unless she betrays the man she loves. Spicy. Also, if this includes Dane, I might actually have to throw the book just a few times. That boy annoys me so much. And listen, this boy annoyed me before he actually did anything worthy of being annoyed by. And not just annoyed by, like literally also further deeper dislikable feelings. But I'm talking, I already had that gut feeling with him. Like, he showed up on the page and I was just like, I know your type. It was giving... I think I disliked him so much because he was giving Gale vibes. Sorry, Gale. Although Violet's body is weaker and frailer than everyone else's, she has her wits and a will of iron. Truly, though. Like, when I tell you, some of the most just strong-willed, independent individuals that I know have the most pain flowing through their bodies. Because I don't think this is a spoiler at all, I don't think, but Violet has constant chronic pain. It states what exactly it is in the book, but like she is constantly in pain. So because she's constantly in pain, it's almost like she has an advantage over everyone else because she knows what pain is and she's like, oh, this is another Tuesday. Meanwhile, everyone else is just like, I stubbed my toe. That actually hurts. But you get my point. It's very much like there is such a strength there with people who just constantly have chronic pain, who know pain constantly. There's just something otherworldly about their strength, I feel. Leadership forgets the most important lesson Basgith taught her. Dragon riders make their own rules, but determination to survive won't be enough this year because Violet knows the secret hidden for centuries at Basgith War College, and nothing, not even dragonfire, may be enough to save them in the end. Ooh. But that is not all, ladies and gentlemen. So let us go back to our gameplay setup, because now we're going to be gameplaying The Lord of the Reeds. And stuff happened. Stuff happened in real time as I was playing. And I'll summarize it here for you all at the very end of it. So let's go.
Hi guys! So we are back to play another round of The Lord of the Reeds. So let's get into it. Right at the top, I do have to remind us there's only going to be 3 rolls unless prompted to otherwise. So let's begin. Okay, D6, let's go. And stop. Okay, we have a 5. And I actually did do my research, so I know exactly where we ended last time. We ended here on graphic novels, so we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prompt cards. What a way to start. Let's play. Let's try that again. Let's play. Good grief. Okay. 33. A book published this year. Holy Mother of Mercy. Um, Yikes. Let's roll. 3. Okay. 1, 2. Prompt cards again. Ah, okay. Well, all right then. Let us remove 33 then. Okay. Spin. Okay, 41. 41. Um, that is a book from an author whose book you disliked before? This month really hates me. I don't want to do that. 3. 1, 2. Oh my God. Okay. Prompt cards yet again. Okay, let's remove 41. Let's play. 54. All right. A Goodreads Choice Awards winner. I know which one. One more time, just to have something. Hopefully. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Manga. I know exactly what we're going to be doing for this one.
I'm back. Did you miss me? So, we basically landed on 3 prompt cards in a row. I'll just list them off. Our first prompt was book published this year. Now, I will be reading a book published this year at the end of the year. And probably next year is when I'll actually be reading it, because that's how slow I get to some of these books. But I don't have anything in my physical TBR. I don't have the time for the research, for the going out and getting of the book. I just don't have time. I don't have patience, to be quite honest. Not when I have other things going on. So I am automatically off the top just not going to do that prompt. The second prompt that we landed on, same story. And the prompt was an author of a book you disliked. Prompt number 3 was a Goodreads Choice Award winner. Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered, her abilities suppressed, and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Palladia's new ruling class of corrupt guild families and depraved necromancers whose vile undead creatures helped bring about their victory holds Helena captive. According to Resistance records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance's final gambit? To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to the High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in this new world. Trapped on his crumbling estate, Helena's fight to protect her lost history and to preserve the last remaining shards of her former self is just beginning. For a prison and captor have secrets of their own. Secrets Helena must unearth, whatever the cost. It just sounds so good. Then, last but not least, we landed, of course, on a manga space. So, it just would be fitting, right, to start the month off with the Tarot Cafe Volume 3, the special edition by Sangsoon Park. I already told you guys what it was about, so you guys already know. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I will have linked all of the TBR games, so feel free to check those out, binge watch, like, subscribe to those YouTubers, all of the things. And then if you guys would like to check out our channel and our little corner of the bookish world over here, feel free to do so. I mean, there's plenty of videos to watch, heck. So you feel free to peruse and browse at your own pleasure. And also, if you guys didn't know, now you know that I have a lifestyle channel, a book talk, a regular TikTok, a bookstagram, a regular Instagram, and I believe I also have linked down below my vocal account. So if you guys want to see me on any other platform, those are the places to go. Thank you guys so much yet again, and as always, thank you guys so much for being the absolute best bookish bestie that ever was, is, or ever will be. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!